Alright guys, so today's video is probably one I should have done a long time ago, especially when I started covering true wireless earbuds. But we've gotten to a point where there's just so many out there and there's so many different features and so many different sayings and things that I say in videos that I got to thinking, if just an average consumer stumbled across a video, they may not even understand what some of these things mean or what some of the options or different things that are out there. So I wanted to do what I'm calling a buyer's guide, although it's really breaking down all of the different things to do with earbuds. It's not really a video saying you should buy, earbud A over earbud B, but it's letting you know what your options are and what you may be looking for. So I think it's going to be something that's beneficial. I think it'll even be beneficial to people that already know a lot of these things. It maybe just opens your eyes to see what else is out there. So I wanted to do this video, and we're going to go ahead and just jump right into the different styles. Now, most people are familiar with Apple's AirPods. These are what are considered open air design earbuds. Now, these are earbuds that do not have silicone ear tips. They're really just made to kind of sit in your ear, and they're channeling audio into your ear canal without blocking your ear canal. So, there's a lot of people that cannot use ear tips, so they kind of gravitate towards using AirPods, and it kind of allows you to hear your music, but also kind of hear your surroundings a little more. You're not as isolated as you are with a pair of ear tips. Now, regular earbuds is what I would consider the earbuds that are blocking your ear canal, but there's also bone conduction and air conduction earbuds as well. Now, bone conduction is relying on vibration, and it's kind of allowing you to hear some sound being channeled into your ear canal, but it's relying more on that vibration kind of close to your ears, and it's leaving your ears completely exposed where you can still hear your surroundings. And this is where you see a lot of people that ride bikes or running, they're using these type. And the same thing with air conduction. Air conduction is relying more on the direction of the audio, so it's usually something sitting above your ear or beside your ear and having the speaker face in towards your ear canal. So it's kind of like a speaker from a distance, channeling audio into your ear canal, and again, leaving it exposed where you can hear your surroundings. So again, if you're going to be running or riding a bike where you still need to be aware of your surroundings, these are the type of devices that you would use. Now, there is also sport earbuds, which again, essentially works like a pair of regular earbuds, but these come with hooks that usually sit around your ear. Now, that's kind of helping keep these in place. So if you're doing anything active, it's not going to have the earbud move around, because having the right fit on a pair of earbuds is just as important as anything. It actually affects the audio quality on the ones with ear tips, because if you don't have a good seal, you're not going to be able to feel the bass. It's really just going to sound like a very dull speaker. So again, find the right earbud that fits you, but also find the right type of earbud that you're looking for. If you're not wanting something to block your ear canal, it's nice to know that some of these options are out there. So now we're going to move over to ear tips. Now, there's plenty of different style of ear tips, and I'm not really going to get into that too much. But the main thing is there is silicone ear tips, which is kind of the standard when it comes to earbuds. But there's also foam ear tips. Now, some earbuds just come with foam ear tips. A lot of people prefer this because you can get a better fit. You can squeeze the foam ear tips, put them in your ear, and then it will expand out to kind of block your ear canal that way. But I have always found that foam ear tips and silicone ear tips sound completely different in my opinion. And I personally prefer silicone ear tips because I feel like they're giving me better bass response. And a perfect example of this is the Sony WF-1000XM4s come with foam ear tips. And I wasn't a huge fan at first, but when I switched them out and put on some silicone ear tips from some other earbuds that I already had, it made them sound so much better to me. Now, I will say that the noise canceling did a better job when I was using the foam ear tips, but the silicone ear tips gave me the better sound, and it still gave me really good noise canceling. So that really is the difference between the two. And again, it will affect the audio quality. And I've found that a lot of audiophiles kind of prefer foam ear tips. And I think that's because it doesn't allow the bass to be as aggressive as it does with a pair of silicone ear tips. Again, that is going to vary depending on the user. But when you get into ear tips, there's also double flanged and triple flanged. That's basically having different layers of ear tips. And again, this is something that will affect the audio quality. Now, the next thing that I wanted to jump into is Bluetooth codecs. Now, Bluetooth codecs are essentially the quality of the signal that is transmitting from the device that you're using, whether it's your phone or tablet or whatever, to the earbuds that you're using. So this is really the Bluetooth signal, Bluetooth quality of the audio that's being streaming from one device to the other. Now, this is something originally, there wasn't a whole lot of options, but we've definitely gotten to a point where there are a lot of different Bluetooth codecs. There's high-end, there's standard, and the usual has always been kind of AAC and SBC. And SBC stands for standard Bluetooth codec. So pretty much every earbud has this. But once you start to kind of move up, you start to move into things like aptX. And aptX low latency, which is going to help cut down on latency if you're going to use your earbuds for watching movies or possibly gaming on your mobile device. There's also aptX HD, which is bringing the bit rate up, so you're getting closer to getting CD quality or better audio quality out of this. You're not going to notice as much digital noise or compression into your music that you're listening to. And then you move up to LDAC. Now, LDAC used to be a codec that was, specific to Sony devices. They have since branched off into other devices because Sony's the one that originated LDAC. And this is where you're getting into high-res audio. You're getting very, very close to the original source. Now, again, this still doesn't compete to having a wired pair of headphones or IEMs plugged into an amp or plugged in straight into the device, but this is getting Bluetooth quality very close to that. And then the latest thing that I'm seeing, and especially in the NeuroTrue Pro that I've tested, is aptX lossless. It's trying to give you the exact same quality as listening to the CD or as listening to the source and not losing quality from that, transition from regular audio over into Bluetooth. Up to this point, my favorite one has been aptX Adaptive because that one just kind of adapts and changes depending on your connection and your source and, different things to make sure that you get the best audio quality that you can out of the device that you're using. Now, the next thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is something that's very important to a lot of people, is the ecosystem. Now, what this is basically you can use earbuds for any device that has Bluetooth, any phone, any tablet. But there are some people that are within an ecosystem. Let's say you own an iPhone and maybe you own an iPad or a MacBook, and you're basically in Apple's ecosystem. They want to make it where one device just kind of works amongst all of the other ones very easily. It's easy to just switch from one device to the other, and it just makes everything work very fluid. And in some cases, there are certain features that you have on earbuds that only work if you're within your ecosystem. So if you're on Apple, most people are going to have AirPods or the AirPod Pros or any line of Beats because they are all using, their W1 or H1 chip that is made to work fluidly across Apple's devices. And same thing with Samsung, with the Galaxy Buds, the Galaxy Buds Pro. They work very well with Samsung's phones, Samsung's tablets, their laptops. Again, they're made specifically where it just makes everything easy to use. But again, you do not have to be tied into an ecosystem. You can be on an Android phone and use a pair of AirPods. You can use the Galaxy Buds on an iPhone. So it is possible, just a lot of people usually do not do that. Now, the next thing, and this is something that I have found to be more important lately than I did when earbuds originally came out, is when an earbud has an app. Because if you're using a pair of earbuds that does not have an app, you are going to get the same experience out of those earbuds from the time that you buy them till the time that they die. But if you have an app, there's different ways that companies can keep the earbuds updated. You can get new features. We've seen Sony get multi-point. We've actually seen Jabra put active noise canceling on a pair of earbuds that did not have noise canceling when it originally came out. So I think app support is huge, let alone just for the fact that you can keep them updated, but also because you get different EQ options. You can make the earbuds sound different than you have them out of the box. So EQ stands for equalizer. It's basically when you want to push the bass up or the treble or the mids. You also can go within an app and switch around controls. If you don't want it to pause, if you single touch your earbud, you can turn that off. In some cases, you can switch around controls to get it to work the way that you want to. You can change where you can turn smart sensors off, because some earbuds have smart sensors where if you take them out, it will pause. And then when you put them back in, it'll go back to what you're listening to. And some people don't want it to do that. So having an app to be able to, control those type of things and control noise canceling and different adaptive things where your earbuds can, change depending on your surroundings. I think that adds a lot of value to earbuds in general. Now, the next thing really, and this should have been the first thing that I mentioned, is what do you intend on using the earbuds for? Now, if you're just somebody that's listening to music and you want to isolate everything around you, you may want a pair that has active noise canceling, which means that it's doing everything that it can to block out a lot of the sounds around you and make it where you can just hear your music or whatever you're listening to. Now, if you're somebody that's going to use your earbuds more for watching movies or gaming, then you need to look for a pair that may have a gaming mode or a low latency mode that you can switch into so you don't have to worry about lag. And lag is basically if you're watching a movie and if the words that you're hearing don't match up with the words that you're watching, let's say it's slightly behind, that is called lag. So there are some devices that switch into a low latency or gaming mode to cut some of that out. Now, usually that means that it's going to use more power on your earbud, so it's going to eat up some of the battery life. And it also usually means you cannot get as far away from your device. So again, that's something you have to keep in mind when you're shopping for earbuds. Now, if you're looking for a pair for phone calls, that usually means that the microphone quality is going to be more important. And this is something that the AirPods are very good at. There's different earbuds that, excel with mics, and there's some that just don't do that great of a job. So that's something you might need to research if you're looking for that. If you're looking for a pair for the gym, again, I would kind of go back to a pair that has noise canceling. Gyms can be loud and you want to block out as much of that as possible. But if you're looking for a pair to go running or riding your bike, that's where you need transparency mode. You need to be able to hear your surroundings or have the mics channel in your surroundings so that if a car comes up, you can hear that. Or if somebody's yelling to get your attention, you're able to hear that. And that's more so for like a safety thing. So you don't get your ass ran over, or if something's coming, you're just more aware of your surroundings. So that is what transparency or awareness mode is. We've seen some newer earbuds where it will just go into transparency mode if it hears you talking. It allows you to carry on a conversation without actually taking your earbuds out. This is a feature I like because I always have, like somebody at home come up to me, and it's just nice to be able to talk and it just fluidly switch over, and then I can just carry on a conversation without really needing to do anything on my earbuds or on the phone itself. And another feature is multi-point. I don't think a lot of people even know this exists, but the ones that do definitely look out for this feature. And that means you can be connected to more than one device at a time. And where that's convenient is you could be watching a movie on your tablet or your laptop, and if somebody calls in on your phone, you can just easily switch over or just pick up that call without having to go into settings and do different things. So multi-point for people that like to have their earbuds connected to all different types of devices is very convenient. Now, the next thing is charging. Now, this may sound, pretty basic. You just plug a cable in to charge it. And usually, yeah, that's the case. But we've seen a lot of earbuds that has Qi wireless charging. And Qi wireless charging, it's the capability on the case itself that you can sit it on a wireless charger, and it'll just wirelessly charge your earbuds or your case that way. Now, this is the way that I usually prefer. Now, if you are going to use wireless charging, it usually charges the case slower than just plugging a USB-C or Lightning or whatever cable straight into the case. But leaving your case plugged into a charger and where it's just constantly charging is going to basically deplete the battery life over time. It's not going to hold up as much. Some wireless chargers will just shut off once the device is fully charged. Some cables do this as well, so do keep that in mind. The wired charge is going to charge faster, where the Qi wireless or wireless charging is going to be slower, but you also have the option of fast charging, where we've seen earbuds on a 5-minute charge, you can get 2 hours of use, or on a 10-minute charge, you may be able to get 3 hours of use. And it's convenient if you are headed out the door and your earbuds are dead, that you can plug them up for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and know that you can get 2 or 3 hours of use out of it. And also, battery life in general is something else you definitely want to keep in mind, because most earbuds I see kind of fluctuate around 5 to 6 hours on the earbuds on a full charge, but I have seen up to 13 or 15 hours. So if you're looking for a pair that just can get you through the day, make sure that you're definitely checking out the battery life. And same thing with the case. Some cases are only going to give you 1 additional charge on the earbuds, or maybe 2, but I have also seen up to 150 hours total on a case. So I know that there's a lot of research that goes into it, and some companies want to give you as much battery life as possible, and those earbuds may not last as long as the others. Now, the last thing that I want to bring up, and to me this is the most important thing, is the sound. You really need to know what sound it is you like. Most earbuds kind of fit that consumer-friendly sound. Whenever I say, a consumer curve or a Harman curve, it's a U shape, or almost like a V shape, where your bass is boosted and your treble is boosted. Mids, for the most part, usually don't get touched. Now, every now and then we'll come across a pair where the mids are boosted a little bit to kind of bring vocalists up front, because bass is the punch in the low end. It's like a subwoofer. It's sometimes bass you can feel, there's sometimes bass you can just hear, and the treble is for the higher end noise, like the brighter sounds, like the cymbals, or anything to bring out details. So that's why it's kind of balanced this way. And the mids can handle, guitar riffs. It can handle vocalists. And this is bringing out details that, sometimes usually get left behind or get lost in the mix, because if you have a pair of earbuds that's bass heavy, it can sometimes tend to drown all of that out. So I actually like it when the mids are boosted a little bit, but I do like the bass up and I do like the treble, so I kind of fall into that category of liking that consumer curve, because I just think it's more fun to listen to. But if you're somebody that wants a flat response, that means that the bass isn't touched, the treble's not boosted, the mids are left alone. This is a sound signature that's closer to how it's intended to be heard, how it was recorded in the studio. It's not trying to do anything to any frequency to make it sound different or make it sound more exciting. It's made to sound flat, where you can kind of change it the way that you want, or just listen to it, again, in a very neutral, or in my opinion, kind of dull sounding EQ. But that again comes down to personal preference. So is there one earbud that can basically do everything? No. Is there one earbud that's going to be perfect for everybody? No. It really does come down to the person that's buying it and what it is you're looking for. And so I wanted to do this video to make it simpler, or at least make it where you understand what the different types of earbuds are, what the different meanings of Bluetooth codecs and equalizer and different things like that, that sometimes if you're not used to hearing, it's just going to sound foreign. But guys, that wraps up my buyer's guide, or maybe idiot's guide to buying or understanding true wireless earbuds. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.